Hey, it's Janae here to brighten and lighten and ignite your day. It's Transformation Tuesday. I'm here with another edition of The Gist, helping you to get inspired and start that transformation. Okay, so when I realized that 2 out of my 3 boys aren't that much into reading as I am and love it as much as my older son, I found my inspiration where else but in a book. So today's resource is a book by Donalyn Miller called The BookWhisperer. How do you awaken the inner reader in every child? So that is my inspiration. And I realized that the inspiration is, this is it. I mean, this is really it. There was so much research of other things that I was reading too that was pointing to the fact just how important reading is, okay? And, you know, of course we hear about that over and over again, and at all ages, reading is important. And what's interesting is she really wrote this book probably with the eye of more like reading teachers, but it was really helpful as a parent to read this book to figure out how do I awaken that within, because at all ages, you know, the importance of reading is invaluable, but especially at that age. So she's a 6th grade reading teacher, and she really wanted to inspire her kids to love reading. You know, how do I do that? And today there's so much focus on more of the state tests and, you know, reading in order to be better at tests, but she wanted to instill the love of reading. And so that's what I loved about this, is how do I get that? How do I get them to want to read and not just do it because of an requirement? And in fact, she said about 70% of students don't read for fun anymore. They just read what they have to and the minimum. And that's what I was noticing in 2 of my boys, and it was devastating to me because, as you know, I love to read. So how do I teach something that's so innate? And so the transformation for me is knowing that reading is so important, is a reading plan. And there's so much around this that just talks about the value of having some kind of a reading plan. And she lays out a ton of things. And I realized that I needed to do something different besides just getting frustrated and kind of forcing them to read, to figure out a plan that would motivate them and encourage them. So she has an idea of, you know, setting high expectations. So students come into her classroom and she has a high expectation, some only reading a few books the year before, for her setting as 6th graders to read 40 books during the school year in a variety of genres, most of which they can choose themselves. And that was really important because when people have a choice of the kind of books that they like to read, all the better. And so that's where it kind of starts, is to find what are the genres and the areas that people like best, and to really build on those. And you probably get a sense from these GIST reports on the kind of books and genres that I like to read and share. So this really set out a plan, and I realized that if transformation was really going to happen, it'd be something that I would have to do to actually make it formal, to have a formal reading plan that was something that we worked together. So we're working on that together, and lots of great inspiration. And the next few actual gists that I'll be doing have like a sequel to the book. So next week you'll get to hear about the sequel to this BookWhisperer and how to continue to instill that lifelong wild reading into your hearts. So it's a great book, The BookWhisperer, for no matter what age, to really awaken that reading. And it's also just inspired me to kind of create my own genre and actually see just how many books do I read, and how can I formally help others in my life that are important to read more as well. So from my heart to yours, be love.